Excellent. Thank you, friends, for joining. This is a unique session I'm hosting today, and I'm privileged to have our friend, Mr. M.S. Shahed Bhai, um, who I met through another close friend, Vijay Pargavkarji, who is into ghazals and such. But some of us that we have been talking on this Meet an Artist series for some time now, we are mostly music junkies. We sing ghazals, we sing film songs, and we sing gair filmy music as well. What we don't realize from time to time is that the lyrics, the words that we sing, are so important, around which the tune and the whole art is circling around. And we should be far more conscious of those words and the lyrics that we sing. Get to know how to pronounce them well, get to know how to understand the meaning of them, and then express the emotions behind those words. So if we did that well, our overall experience to the audience would be so much better. We are lucky that we have had many friends who are kind of polite and they haven't corrected us while we are singing. But today is a privileged day for me. We have Shahid Bhai, who is our guest of honor today, who has decided to join us and educate us on some of the, you know, nuances behind Urdu as a language, which is liberally used in many film songs and ghazals and Hindi songs that we are exposed to. But I'm going to make him a host and let him drive the subsequent conversation. He has personally taken time to research Urdu as a language. He's an engineer like you and I, or many of us are, but he took upon himself to study the language of Urdu a bit deeply, built a site for us to benefit from. So with that, let me welcome Shahid Bhai. Um, if you can hear me, Shahid Bhai, please say hello to our audience today.
Thank you, Dhananjay. I can hear you, and thank you for the introduction. Those are big words, and I don't know if I can meet those expectations. But let me start off, first of all, by acknowledging that I am really new to Urdu. My formal education was in uh, English, Hindi, and Telugu
Wow.
because I grew up in Hyderabad. But of course, I had a passion for the language. I knew the spoken word, just the street language, if you like, uh, and could barely spell my name. But it is my passion, and I had heard Urdu shairi, of course, growing up, and that passion led me to, after my retirement, take it very seriously. And uh, it's been about 10 years since I've retired, and I'm quite happy with my retirement at 76 and still going strong. Um, and I come at it from a different angle than music. And the best illustration of that is when I stopped Dhananjay in mid sentence when he was talking about Mahdi Hassan's ghazal. And I said, no, it is not Mahdi Hassan's ghazal, it is Faiz Ahmad Faiz's ghazal, which Mahdi Hassan has had the privilege to sing. So that's the angle I come from.
Correct.
Okay. Uh, Urdu Shahkar is a website that I have, which I will share with you in a minute on the screen. And I'll go off to the side and you will be able to see the site. It evolved from basically what I call my class notes, because I was so uh, ill-educated in Urdu. I have an ustad. I still spend a lot of time with him on the phone, and he helped me through understanding whatever I needed to understand, and I made notes and suddenly realized that I could put it on the web and share it. So here it is. Um, oops,
Let me make you host. Let me make you host.
okay.
All right. All right. So you have the control now, Shahid bhai.
Okay. So I am now sharing the home screen. Uh, okay. Do you see it? Okay. All right. So I am actually signed into the site as an administrator. So there may be some features here which will be different. The site is called urdushahkar.org. Uh, I also have urdushahkar.com, which links to the same place. It is a secure site, and that lock tells you that it is a secure and safe site. Um, um, Let me go ahead and start describing what it is. The home page will show all of these who, what, why, and you can read that at your leisure. The resource that you wanted, which is a lot of ghazals with meaning and pronunciation, are already embedded in here. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it, although I will spend some time on a few examples in a minute. But even before we get to that, on the navigation part, there is a little video here, and you can click on that, and it will help you later navigate through the site if you forget how to do it after my description. But the navigation is so intuitive that it will be very easy. So the navigation bar here up, and you can see my cursor moving, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So here I'm clicking on Poet Index, and you will see, okay, there are two people in the waiting room. Do I have to admit them?
Please do.
Okay. I mean, I didn't realize that I have to, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
admit
So
all.
it
Okay.
looks, yeah. Thank you.
So I'll keep doing that. Um, so we are now at the poet index, and you will see pictures and names of poets. And all I wanted to do here was draw your attention to names like Anand Narayan Mulla, Bal Mukund Arsh Malsiani, Bishweshwar Parshad Munawwar, Bridge Mohan Kaifi, and there is a on the side there which may be hidden, Bridge Mohan Chakbast. You can go on. Chandrabhan Kaifi, Chandrabhan Brahman. Okay, let me stop here. You get the flavor. Urdu is a language of a wide range of people.
Hmm.
Okay. Then the other feature that I will come back to later again is the theme index. Whenever a poet's work is published, it is also linked to a particular theme. And here, for instance, is a theme related to Ghalib, uh, people who have written things that end with kuch raat kate. Okay. Uh, on Urdu Ramayan, and people who have paid tribute to Nehru, Gandhi, to the worker, uh, and there are plenty. And we'll come back to this in just a minute. And oh, and also a feature that I call Kaaba Kashi. And here you will find in Urdu cross-cultural compositions where um, Muslim poets have written about Ram and Krishna, and Hindu poets have written about Muhammad and Hussein and Ali, etc., etc. Again, you can visit that. Again, this is from the point of view of Urdu literature, not necessarily music. Okay. The other part that I do want to tell you about is the search function. In this search box, you can enter whatever words of a ghazal that you might remember, the name of the poet, or a theme, and you will be taken to whatever is relevant to those words. A little bit of caution, because transliteration is not standard. For example, if you write ghazal with just a G, it will not recognize it, a GH. And in fact, I use a capital G, but the search is not case sensitive. The other feature is that you can enter in Devanagari as well as Urdu. Okay. So that is what the search function do, and you have to try a few times because of the transliteration question. Now, for your specific interest, if you were interested in a song sung by Begum Akhtar, you can enter Begum Akhtar in there, and it will pop up everywhere where I have entered Begum Akhtar's singing as a part of the post. So what I want to do is now go into what you will see. Let me go to Poet Index. And when the Poet Index comes up, you can scroll down and pick the poet of interest. And I'm scrolling down because I want to pick Makhdum Mohiuddin, and absolutely not biased about Hyderabad, but Makhdum Mohiuddin happens to be from Hyderabad.
Nice.
Okay, so here we are. When I click on that Makhdum, you will get all that he has written. And here again, I want to click on one of the selections, Intezar. Okay, and there what you will see is the Nazam, or in this case, Nazam, otherwise a ghazal, in Urdu script or Devanagari script or Roman script. Now, in addition to seeing it in Roman script, if you click on a stanza, you will get a window that pops up which gives you word meanings and an explanatory discussion of what all of this means.
This is incredible, Shahed bhai.
In addition to that, you will be able to click on this, and once again, Vitthal Rao, I don't know how many of you are have been exposed to him, also from Hyderabad. I just love his singing. And I've populated this quite a lot with his thing. You can do that. And in this case, it happens to be a recitation by the poet himself, which I found somewhere, and here it is.
Amazing.
And every entry has a recitation that I have done and posted in there. So the whole idea is that you can hear and read at the same time. Scroll down and read. Because again, in YouTube, you might see faces and hear them, but you are not able to read words. And this is what you can do here. Um, so before I go on, I'm going to be talking about multiple meanings with examples and ambiguity, uh, intonation differences. Before I do that, let me stop and see if there are any questions or comments.
This is an awesome site. Thank you so much, Saidji. This is Vyomini.
Good. I'm glad, and I'm sure you'll find this useful. And there are almost 1,000 nazam and ghazal on this already.
Mhm.
I will be happy to add any that you particularly uh, find or want and don't find here. So all you need to do is send me an email, and my email address is here in the contact us part. The other bit is that I add, maybe 2 times a week, new things. And if you want to be put on the mailing list, uh, all you have to do is enter your email here and say subscribe. And it says very clearly there that no fees, no advertisements. In other words, I'm not going to send this email to somebody else. And this is purely a labor of love. Uh, and I will continue to do that. And if you like to receive emails, let me know. I'll be happy to send them to you. Um, okay, before I go on again, stop me anytime. Not a problem anywhere. So let's look into some of the nuances. Let me go to Ghalib and here. Again, a bitter thing where I might have written Mirza Ghalib instead of Ghalib, and so you'll have to search, but the photograph helps. That's actually an actual photograph, the very beginning of the camera.
Mhm.
So
Awesome.
let me click on Ghalib. And one that I want to use to illustrate uh, intonation is right here. And you may have heard this several times. Nukta chi hai ghame dil usko sunaye na bane. And it has been sung by Suraya. And I have a snippet here by Radhika Chopra also. And here is how, oops, would you prefer for me to use Roman script or Devanagari?
Devanagari.
Okay. So here is नुक्ता ची है गम दिल उसको सुनाए न बने क्या बने बात जहां बात बने न बने. Now let me assume that that you don't understand the full meaning of what this is. And if that is insulting your intelligence, I'm sorry, but uh, let me try that. So, nuktachi means a critic or a nitpicker, and it can be used both in a negative sense and a positive sense, in the sense that nuktachi can be a very selective person who chooses only the fine things, or it can be a nitpicker who will criticize you for everything. Now, it is used here in the negative sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, or sunaye na bane. Na bane means it doesn't get me anywhere. It doesn't work. Kya bane baat? How can something be fruitful? Baat banaye na bane. Meaning, again, two meanings. Baat banana means to concoct stories. क्या बात बना रहे हैं तुम? और बात means बात बिगड़ी हुई है, हम उसको बना रहे हैं. And if you're fixing it.
Nice.
Okay. Now, let's look at this. Nuktachi में दिल उसको सुनाए न बने, meaning the pain in my heart is such a nickel that more people that I need to admit. Okay, that's done. So, ghame dil, the sorrow of my heart, or the love in my heart, is a critic. And it is so intense because my love has been spoiled by the beloved, that I'm trying to tell it all kinds of things. It is not told. Sunaye na. Kya bane baat jahan baat banaye na bane? How can I succeed if my concoction of consolation doesn't work? Okay. Now, a slight change in intonation. Nuktachi hai, ghame dil usko sunaye na bane. Now, who is Nuktachi? He doesn't say that very clearly. If you say Nuktachi hai ghame dil, you know that ghame dil is the critic. Nuktachi hai, the beloved, is the critic. And ghame dil usko sunaye na bane. I'm trying to tell her the story of my heart, and I cannot.
Mm-hmm.
And then says, kya bane baat? How can I succeed with her when I'm trying to make all of these stories to get across, and I'm not successful? Both of these singers have sung it in a slightly different way, and I don't know, try and see later when you have a chance to visit the site. You can play this and see if you can pick that up. Okay, so we are now at 1 hour, and we are nowhere near what I thought I would get done. I'm quite willing and happy to go on for a while, but you decide what you want to do.
Yeah, I think we can continue, Shahid bhai. We are just about 30 minutes in or 28 minutes in. We can go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
the thing that I wanted to do was now dwell on interpretations and different interpretations. One of the very wonderful experiences that I had and I've had a chance to talk to the poet herself, is a, a poet by the name of Elizabeth Kurian, who uses uh, the takhallus or the pen name Mona. And I have a suspicion it's because of Mona Lisa, Elizabeth being her name. Uh, and I interpreted one of her ghazals, and a sher, for instance, which I have not yet posted. So, जिसे हमने पूजा तहे दिल से बरसों, जिसे हमने पूजा तहे दिल से बरसों, वो पत्थर का निकला सनम देखते हैं.
क्या बात.
And what that means, of course, is that I have worshipped this person for so many years from the bottom of my heart. And he turned out to be hard-hearted. But, so, who is it, right? And my interpretation, of course, is coming at it from the point of view of an atheist that I am. It could be about God. It could be about the beloved, or it could be about a politician, right? But the poet herself is a very religious person. She was flabbergasted that I could interpret it about God.
Mm-hmm.
But that is what I'm leading into about Faiz's poetry. And here, mujhse palisi mohabbat mehboob na mang. So, how many of you, and I've come across a lot of people who think that this is about love and beloved.
I do.
Okay. So, let us get to that little piece and show you how different it is. Where is Faiz? Here. Okay, we go here. And okay, so when you get a chance, revisit this page. And I'm sorry, but the meanings are given only in the Roman script page. And here, the poet is saying, look, fellow poets, do not keep writing about love and the beloved. तेरी सूरत से है आलम में बहारों को सबात, तेरी आंखों के सिवा दुनिया में रखा क्या है? And everybody thinks, oh, it's about the beauty of the beloved. But he goes on to say, यूं न था, मैंने फकत चाहा था यूं हो जाए. This is not the truth. I just wanted it to be. I just imagined it to be. क्यों? Oh, और ही दुख है जमाने में मोहब्बत के सिवा. There are many other things to worry about. And what are those things? Okay, खाक में लिथड़े हुए, खून में नहलाए हुए. I mean, there are so many people who are suffering. So I'll leave it there. And invite you to come back and visit this later. But again, in much the same way, Faiz's poem, Hum Dekhenge, got so misinterpreted in India that it caused a furor.
Mhm.
And one of the benefits of that was that visits to this site run at 300 a day, and during those days they went up to 2 to 3,000 because people wanted to come to Faiz's Hum Dekhenge.
Right, right.
And so here again, I'll just take 1 minute and let you see Hum Dekhenge. Okay. I'll invite you to come back and
Did we lose audio?
Yeah, so let's give a few seconds to see whether he gets back automatically. If he's dropped out, we'll just wait.
within technical problems.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. We thought you'll be back automatically. So thank you.
Okay. So in the Roman script part, you will see all the word meanings and interpretation. And the way Iqbal Bano has sung it is just awesome. Uh, I'll invite you to come back and visit this.
Perfect. Shahid bhai, if you're able to hear me, clearly this is an outstanding resource that we didn't know about. And like you said, there are many ghazals and nazm already here, and we will look through those up, and then those that we are interested in looking for the lyrics or the words and such, we will send the suggestions. But
Uh,
can you take a few steps back? So beyond the site, help us with the basics of how to go about reading and pronouncing Urdu words, because we are far more exposed to the Hindi music or such, and we didn't even know which words were originally Urdu that were embedded into Hindi. We can't decipher which one is Hindi and Urdu and such. So until someone tells us, we were making a mistake in pronouncing those words, and we didn't even know the meaning of those. Um,
so, one is ah,
Shahid bhai,
I see some.
if you're done sharing, what we can do is make me host again. Seems like your connection might not be that strong. So make me host again. That way, the basics of the whole session stays intact, and then we can
Okay.
talk more about the pronunciation part. Uh, Maybe pick few examples that you can narrate versus reading through here, and then
Okay, I am getting a message that says Zoom meeting is not responding. I clicked on stop share, um, and now I'm in a blank screen. Okay, I'm back.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Now
yeah.
I will still go ahead and stop share and give you control.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Yeah.
Yes. If you click in participants next to my name, there should be an arrow
Yeah.
that will.
Right. But first I have to stop share,
Yes.
I think. Okay. So I will go ahead and speak as long as you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So rather than go word by word and tell you how to pronounce it, what I invite you to do is go ahead and click on that recitation part when you go visit the site, and it will recite all of those words. Um,
Right. I think the sharing hasn't stopped yet. If you are trying to do
yeah,
it.
it is not, it's acting up. It is not
Okay. Okay, do this.
responding.
See whether you
Yeah,
can make me host. If you go to participants, try and make me host, and maybe I'll try to take the control
yeah.
back.
I can get to the participants icon
Yeah.
only after I
Stop sharing.
stop sharing.
Okay. Uh, I don't know how to help
Okay.
there. Yeah.
Yes.
DJ, I think if you just share, you can click on share screen. That will automatically stop his sharing.
I'm not sharing anything anyways at the moment. I just made him a host, and then he's
No, but I'm
driving.
saying if you want him to stop sharing, the
Uh-huh.
easiest way is you can just click on the share screen button and that will
Oh,
automatically stop his.
I see. Host disabled attendee screening. I see. Got you. Um, okay. 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 Now somehow it is not working, even though I'm clicking on share screen. Um, okay. No worries. Let's do this. Shahid bhai, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, let's do this because we are having technical difficulties right now. Let's. Are you able to see at the bottom Facebook Live or such?
Uh,
Go live at the bottom on the right, in the middle, but on the right.
because uh,
Whole thing is frozen for
all
you.
I see is a thumbnail sketch of the Zoom session
Hmm.
and Urdu Shahkar screen. I do not see the details of
Got you.
Facebook.
Got you. Got you.
Maybe leave the Zoom meeting and
Yeah.
rejoin.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you can exit the Zoom session.
Okay. So if I exit, then
Rejoin.
Exit for
ah,
yourself. Don't kill the meeting. Exit for yourself. If try.
okay.
Either.
Uh,
When you click leave, it will tell you an option: exit yourself or kill the meeting.
yeah. I'm okay. Zoom meeting. So close the program. That's all I'm getting. So
Okay.
I will.
Okay, you can exit. No worries. Let's see what happens. Awesome. So I think we are back. At least I got the control back, and we'll let Shahid bhai hop in a moment. Thanks for being patient, folks. This is the first time we are learning about how the share screen works.
Is there a co-host feature in Zoom that you could use?
Yeah, I thought there would be one, and I was hoping to make him a co-host, but it allowed me to only make him host. Awesome. So I think he's connected back.
I am connected, yes.
Excellent, excellent. Turn on your video if you
Yeah,
can.
I will.
Yeah, I think we can continue talking now versus sharing, and that'll.
Okay, so right, here we go.
Excellent.
Okay, so now what I was saying is that if you click on the recitation button,
Yeah.
you will hear, and I have tried to recite it in a way that it is easy for you to hear and read. And I dare say that mistakes in pronunciation are few and far between because I have been very sensitive to it. So that's an answer to your how to pronounce
Gotcha.
the words. The second bit you will get is that again, I take care to take the breaks where within the misra, within the line, take necessary breaks and intonation to convey the meaning.
For example.
I would not, I will not try to think of an example right now,
Okay.
but those breaks do make a big difference.
Yeah.
And if there is a later session, I will pick those examples ahead of time.
Okay. No worries. No worries.
And share them with you. And I can pick examples of multiple meanings. For instance, a share has possibility of 8 different meanings.
Wow. Just based upon the spacing and the timing and such. Okay.
Yes.
Are you able to open the site yourself locally in a separate browser? Maybe you will have access to the information handy next to you.
No, I may have access to the information, but for me to remember the right compositions
Gotcha.
to share
No worries.
is a little difficult. It will take time.
No worries. No worries.
But what I was trying to tell you also was when we went here, there are a number of very good poets that you may never have heard of.
Mm-hmm.
Naresh Kumar Shad. And he killed himself with alcohol very early in life. It's very unfortunate. But he's been a very prolific writer.
Mm-hmm.
And he has written song and ghazal.
Mm-hmm.
And not many people have sung him. So I invite you to consider him. I have just posted 2 of his so far.
Okay.
One of them is beautiful, sort of say, Jang na hone paye.
Mm-hmm.
But allow me to sort of put you on screen and here and read one stanza.
Mm-hmm.
And give you a feeling for what I am talking about in terms of what we are missing when people have not sung and brought forward these poets that I'm talking about. Naresh Kumar Shad lived from 1927 to 1969.
Mm-hmm.
And the one stanza that I'm reading for you, which is opening up in front of me, here it is. शीतल धरती के हृदय में अग्नि बाण चलाए. शीतल धरती के हृदय में अग्नि बाण चलाए, निर्दोषों के खून से शमशानों में दिए जलाए. नगर नगर में लाशें बोकर जिसने काल उगाए, आज वो सुख साधन की बैरन सर पर मंडलाए। जंग न होने पाए साथी, जंग न होने पाए। And he goes on, डूब न जाएं दुख सागर में बच्चों की आशाएं, टूट न जाएं बजते चूड़े मांगे उजड़ न जाएं. And so I will invite you to go read those. Those are pacifist. Again, my biases are towards socialist ideas
Yep,
and
yep.
progressive ideas, and that is reflected in the choices I make in posting. I don't post purely religious things unless they're cross-cultural.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, amazing work, and thanks for pointing out that poet, because it's easy to pick the most popular poets out there, most published poets, and put their data. But thank you for taking extra pains to also surface information and the work of those who have not been read enough or
And you will
sung enough.
find that they're very musical.
Yeah, yeah. Easy to understand too. I mean, as you were reading it, I could actually understand the meaning of it. It wasn't
Of course.
loaded. Yeah.
And you will find other ghazal that he has written, which is in chaste Urdu. This one, of course, is okay. So the other part that I did want to address, which your question raised, was what is Urdu?
Yeah.
It's a strange part that Urdu developed out of Khadi Boli, Avdhi, a whole number of languages. And initially, it was not called Urdu. Ghalib himself, in his letters, writes about his Urdu poetry as Hindi. And it was variously called Hindi, Hindvi, Rekhta, and Hindustani. And somewhere along the line, it acquired the word Urdu.
Gotcha.
And I pointed out to you the number of Hindu and Sikh poets who have written just absolutely wonderful verse in Urdu. And the reason I also pointed out Ramayana was, again, I wrote a series of 7 essays that have been published in a literary magazine in India just recently called Muse India, M-U-S-E, Muse India, and it's all about the Urdu Ramayana.
Wow.
And here are just 2 or 3 points that I want to make. First, Ramayana was written in Urdu before the Quran was written in Urdu.
Wow.
When the Quran was written in Urdu, it received a fatwa condemning the poet for writing it in an impure language. The Ramayana was written in Farsi only 20 years after Tulsidas wrote his Ramayana. And when Tulsidas wrote his Ramayana, he received a fatwa for having written it in Avadhi. And he actually sought refuge and lived in a masjid for several years because they were after him. Okay. All of this is in those essays.
Okay.
And I will be happy to send you a link to that. Of course, that is from an Urdu literature point of view.
Yeah.
And that was in answer to the question, what is Urdu? Where did it come from?
Right. And it at some point, probably, even though it was called Hindi in the beginning, it took its own life and developed its own trajectory and track, and became the mature language that it is today. It's just that it is written in a certain way, and if it is, you know, if one knows how to read it and pronounce it, you will appreciate it much better. Because personally, I did not speak Hindi nor Urdu growing up. As a result, we listen to music that we love and we sing, but we lose the meaning and the pronunciation and the detailed aspect of it. Is why this is extremely valuable conversation for me, Shahid Bhai, and to my friends. Let me open up and see if they have any questions or want to clarify anything about your website that you shared.
I have a
So
question.
yes,
First of all, I wanted to thank you, Said, by awesome job on the website. This is Vyomini. Appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you.
And I think DJG a great. You know, if it's possible, we can do a session where we take one ghazal and kind of, you know, I see the passion with him.
Yeah.
We break it down,
Yeah.
and you explain to us. That'd be great. Something I wanted to suggest. But thank you.
Sure, and that's a great point because
I
that's
think
the
DJ Saab, I wanted to say exactly what Vyomni said. So thank you, Vyomni, for stealing my thoughts. That I admire you for that, and
yeah.
I would rather come to DJ's house next time, and I'll bring a bottle of scotch, and we are going to listen together.
Wonderful, wonderful. Because
Thank you.
until I
Great
started,
job.
thank you,
Yeah.
sir. Thank you, very kind of you. So I did not realize the volume of work that Shahid Bhai has put into this thing. So I was just thinking a song or two and such, and when I saw the information so rich and loaded there, I said let's start with the high level intro, and then we'll pick things that are closer and popular among us, and we can decipher through that thing. Cool. Any other comments before I give it back to Shahid Bhai?
I had one more question. So how like if I wanted to find out a meaning of a ghazal, or so where did you like learn, or how did you just do research online, or how did you learn to pronounce all these words correctly?
Okay. How did I learn? I started 10 years ago. Of course, Urdu is my mother tongue. So I had a good head start. But when I started, I could not even look at a dictionary. I just did not. I have a very good friend who is a PhD in linguistics with Urdu, and uh, he was a graduate student when I was on the faculty at UC Berkeley, and that's when I had met him. But he now lives in Washington D.C., and I have spent 3 to 4 hours a week with him over the last 10 years, and he has been very generous with his time and knowledge. And I learned where I am now at a point where I don't have to ask him everything. And at a point where I even pick some differences of opinion with him. So let me also say that I just received a comment in chat box that says rekhta.org is a very good site, and it is marvelous. I mean, my site is nowhere near that site. You know, I have 1,000 ghazals. They have about 2 million. And you can go access those. And it is very good. It is available in Urdu, Devanagari, and English. And word meanings are given there. The one thing it lacks is it does not have an explanation of a sher.
Gotcha.
And it does not have a voice recitation for every ghazal.
Yeah.
So what I have done is to make this site extremely friendly for non-Urdu speaking people, not out of generosity, out of selfishness, because I was one of those 10
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. So excellent overview. Any further questions, folks, for Shahid Bhai? because this is only the beginning. We clearly have to bring him back few times in order to, not just take few ghazals or nazm, but if you look at the collection of poets that he has covered, I'm sure there are many sites, but now that we have access to Shahed Bhai, who has generously given his time for us, we can build on that thing and probably pick a poet or two further down. I think you mentioned Ghalib Saab, but you also had talked about Sahir Ludhianvi Saab as well a bit.
Yes. Yeah.
And I included Sahir's name in my Facebook event. So people might be curious about any song or ghazal of his that you're fond of that we can talk about today.
Well, most certainly. The one that I'm most fond of is an extremely long nazam. By extremely long, I mean a few hundred lines. It's called Parchaya. And I will again recite one share out of it.
Please.
बहुत दिनों से है ये मशगला सियासत का, बहुत दिनों से है ये मशगला सियासत का कि जब जवान हो बच्चे तो कत्ल हो जाएं. Means for very long it has been the pastime of politics that when youth come of age, they be killed by sending them to war. And
I had one.
yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but I had one more question. What are your thoughts on the Bollywood writers? On all these songs, the ones we normally sing. What are your thoughts on that? Or have you? I haven't checked out your site in detail, but have you portrayed them?
Okay, so there are quite a few Bollywood songs in there, but the songs that I have picked have had their origins in ghazal and literature, right? So in my early conversation with Dhananjay, I basically said, look, I refuse to do dum dum digga digga, sorry. But if it has a redeeming literary value, and sahirs, there are several and in fact in the theme index there is one called Aurat, woman, and you will see the progression of thinking where people place the woman on a pedestal and demand sacrifices from her because they have placed her on a pedestal. And in fact, Sahir does some of that too. औरत ने जन्म दिया मर्दों को, as if giving birth is the biggest contribution she can make. But there are, of course, more modern female poets who have asserted their position. Okay, that's not going to Bollywood, but yes, there are Bollywood songs in there that have redeeming features.
Thank you. Yeah, I do see Gulzar Saab. He's listed here on your site.
Of course.
And what Shahid Bhai might have done is that things that are easily accessible elsewhere, he need not spend so much time rebuilding it here. He probably is far more focused on the literary value of it, like he said, and those things that are kind of unique from his perspective are of importance to him that are added here. So yeah, let's review the site, and then like he said, he's open for suggestions of what is important to us. We can analyze, dissect them a bit, get to understand.
Okay. There is one other comment on the chat box that I wanted to respond to, which is send the links to Ramayana in Urdu. There are two parts of it. One is I will send you, Dhananjay, the link on the Muse India articles.
Please.
There are 7 of them, and you can send those links out to your group. The second part is that what I have done in Urdu Shahkar itself is I've started to string together a pearl necklace, if you like, or a tasbih, or a japmal. Take your preference. But each one is an episode of the Ramayana written by a different poet,
Wow. Okay.
all in Urdu.
Amazing.
So far, I have done 5 pearls, and I will keep adding at one a week.
Wonderful.
And the way to access that is to go to the theme index,
Yeah.
go to Ramayana Urdu, and that will show you all that is already posted.
Gotcha.
And if you think it is street language, you'll be in for a surprise.
Okay.
It's classical, chaste Urdu by many different poets, and it's wonderful.
Okay.
It's the imagery, just awesome.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, we'll take a look there. One different observation I wanted to point out for myself and my friends is that the way you are speaking to us right now, the emphasis that you give on different words, different letters and such is so phenomenal experience listening to you right now. Like you pronounce my name so well. After so many years, I'm feeling delighted. Somebody knows my name, Dhananjay, the way you pronounced it. Is that part of your Urdu study as to how to emphasize on different words and such, or that's how you always spoke?
No, wait a minute. First of all, my education was in Hindi,
Okay.
right? So I grew up speaking all of this.
Perfect.
Second, yes, I am sensitive to how, for instance, I've spent all kinds of time with my friends, US friends, to call me Shahed,
Yeah.
even though it is written last. It's my given name. And look, everybody doesn't have a last name.
Correct.
And so I am sensitive to trying to pronounce things right. And I'll be happy to be corrected
Yeah.
and
Perfect.
learn.
Perfect. Amazing. Fantastic. Folks, what else do you have for Shahid Bhai today? Because he's a uniquely talented treasure. I don't want to call him resource. He's a treasure of information and knowledge. And on top of that thing, he has his website for us that we should take some time to look offline, compile a short list or such that we can include in the next session. Anything that you have for today? It's been over an hour. I want to respect your time and his time as well. Any last comments for the road before we call it out today?
Just a big thank you.
Well, thank you for inviting me. And again, because this is my passion, I love to share it. And I will share with you any number of compositions that people have made about the beauty of Urdu and its poetry. And that in itself is very beautiful. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. And then I'm more than happy to come back.
So let's do on that point, I think we should do at least hour and a half session, DJ Sahib, next time.
Yeah.
And plan it well ahead of time so that we have our calendar open.
Yeah.
And I would rather get together with at least 1 or 2 people from the group somewhere and not be with myself without the drink in my hand. Otherwise, ghazal ka fayda nahi hai. Ghazal sunni hai to you have to have the jam haath mein, na?
The ambience as well.
Ambience honi chahiye thoda yaar.
Absolutely, absolutely.
नहीं तो पूरा justice नहीं होगा. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
All right. Thank you. And are we done?
I think we're done. Thank you so much. It's been a treat, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good weekend, folks. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, DJ Sahib, as usual. Bye.
Take care.